All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday Watch List. This week we do have a lot going on. Starting off with some of the economic events. Let's start off with that. We have retail sales on Tuesday. That's going to be a big event. And then on Wednesday we have FOMC. So overall, the overall market outlook from last week, if you guys saw that rising wedge, it's definitely starting to play out right now. Especially with the news with Israel and Iran going on too, that just gave it the extra. If you guys notice too, a lot of the times that you guys have like these bearish moves or even bullish moves, you will be able to get that read on it on the technical side before the news even comes out. Like before the market sold off, and before the Israel and Iran news, the market already looked bearish, right? Before Elon and Trump were fighting, Tesla already looked bearish. So it's like you can get a read of these moves before they happen, before the fundamentals come out. Anyways, that's what we have going on this week. We have FOMC on Wednesday. Is Jerome Powell gonna cut interest rates or at least give a sign that he's gonna do it at the next meeting? Or is he still like skeptical about it? I think we might do it. I think we might go for the rate cut, if not this one, the next one. Thursday we have Juneteenth. It's a holiday, so the market's closed. And because we have FOMC and the market's closed in the same week, I don't know, like it's gonna be there's some good setups that I see, but this can definitely make the market volatility either a little bit slower or we'll see what we get. Anyways, that's gonna be like on the fundamental news side of things. Going into the charts, as you guys can see, this rising wedge is playing out and we're back below 600 on SPY. As long as we're still below this major supply here at 598 to 600 area, I'm gonna lean bearish as long as we keep making lower highs. And this 594.5 area is the area that I need to see get taken out if I want to see lower, potentially down to like 591.5. And then 590s, that's gonna be the moves to the downside, and even like this 588.5. That's a major. I feel like the market is probably gonna get some relief here around 588.5. I could definitely see us getting there. Now for the bullish side, we would need to reclaim 600. Honestly, yeah, we're pretty close to highs. So honestly, I would need to see us get back above like that 604. These most recent lower high points like 604, 605 area. The market reversal could happen before, of course, but I think for now, as long as we hold this lower highs, we're good. Once we start reclaiming 600, then we got room to these highs. That's the bullish side, like around this area right here, right? We need to reclaim. I'm pretty much like that trend line area, that recent high, Friday's high. Keep eye on that. That's gonna be SPY, pretty short, pretty simple. This is gonna be an overall short and simple watch list. I do see a few names that I really, really like. AVGO, Tesla, and Nvidia. Those are my top names for the week. QQQ here, same thing, right? We had that rising wedge starting to break down, lower highs. If we get below Friday's low, 524, we got room to 522. This is a major area of demand right here. As you can see, it was a supply here and it was demand here. So this is going to be a big point for us this week to definitely pay attention to. We could definitely look for reactions at that point. Below that, we'll have room to 520.6 and then pretty much 520s, 518s. Now for upside, we need to reclaim like 531, 533 area. Pretty much just getting above that Friday high will potentially get us back into 534s. So keep an eye on that for Qs. Short, simple. But even look at these daily charts on SPY and Qs. You guys will be able to see that daily candle does not look pretty, right? We got a shooting star on the daily for QQ. And we got a shooting star on the daily for SPY also. So that's gonna be SPY and Qs. Going into some individual names, Tesla is something about robo taxi this week, right? And they bounced very aggressively on Friday from a very key level of demand after this pullback. So you guys can see we have a high, lower high, and we're starting to get a break of that right now, right? We held this 310 area of demand, which is from here. And you guys can see that we held it very well Friday. This was a beautiful setup on Friday. Probably one of the best setups of the day from Friday. This is a key level too. This was the day that Trump and Elon started right beefing, I guess you could say. And that was the day that we got the huge sell-off. That's that high. That's that candle high. We're holding above it. That's going to be a big pivot point. We're in between two key points. The 310, where we got a major bounce, the 335, which is a major supply, and the key pivot point in the middle. So as long as we stay above that pivot point, I'd lean towards 335. If we get below that pivot point, I'm gonna lean towards 310. Um, but if we get above 335 because of this robo taxi stuff that's happening this week, Tesla's going to be the name that I'd probably be leaning towards relative strength. If we reject 335 and this double tops out, it's going to get ugly. But I think this could potentially be a name that shows more strength to this week. It all depends on like I said, this pivot point and those two levels there. Anything in between these levels, not interested. AVGO is going to be my next favorite setup. This has been a great on a great uptrend, and we finally broke and retested the trend line. I wish I would have gotten entries on this for swings on Friday. Unfortunately, I missed it, but I even had my risk reward ratio up and everything, pretty much to look something like this, where you're risking pretty much that to catch it here. So we're a little bit late to it, but there's going to be another way to trade it as we just formed a head and shoulders here on the hourly chart. And pretty much I want to see a retest of this neckline on this head and shoulders and us stay below that for room to 245. These recent lows 241s, and if thing gets aggressive and the overall market sells off also, 235s would be next. So that's gonna be yeah, that's gonna be AVGO. We got that head and shoulders, not leaning to the upside just yet. So that's what I'm watching there. Nvidia is gonna be the other setup. Nvidia also had a rising wedge. We rejected a major area of supply right here. And we are starting to break down. So below 140.4, we got room to 139.5. And then we got room to 138. So that could be a very clean move. I'm not bullish on Nvidia unless it gets above 145. So if you want to keep it very simple, watch 140.4. Here, we'll clear this. Watch this level. Watch this level. And we would need to stay below that area, to be honest. But yeah, watch those two levels right there. These are the two main key points on Nvidia. Let's see what we get on that. For the most part, that's gonna be like the main names that I watch. Apple was a beautiful swing from Friday. We took the 200 reject a little bit early on Thursday actually, but we held through. And target's like 193. Market could definitely see some relief here at 193s on Apple, but because a lot of the names are leaning bearish, then I will also a lot of the top names, right? Meta just fell 700, downtrend. Not my favorite setup, but it's definitely looking a lot weaker than it's been over the past few weeks. I'd keep an eye on this area here. I like that area right there. For the most part, probably around 675. Anyways, that's gonna be short and simple for today's watches, guys. I'm not gonna do nothing crazy today. Just keep you guys updated on some of the setups that we got. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys found that valuable. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great trading week. Peace.